Welcome to Anafram Market Perspectives.
Friday Market Recap, Fed cuts, tariff turmoil, and tech in the spotlight. Welcome back to our Friday Market Recap. If you're new here, every week we break down the biggest moves in markets, policy, and earnings, then set you up for what's next. Let's get into it. S&P 500 Weekly Recap. The S&P 500 finished the week on a volatile note. Gains in mega-cap tech offset losses in industrials and healthcare, leaving the index little changed overall. Winners: Tesla surged plus 13%, Apple plus 3.4%, Google plus 4.8%, and Meta plus 3.9%. Microsoft added plus 1.5%. Losers: Oracle fell minus 3.6%, Broadcom minus 4.0%, and Nvidia slipped minus 0.5% after trade headlines. Sectors: Industrials struggled as Boeing and FedEx slid, while financials like JP Morgan plus 2.5% and Wells Fargo plus 2.8% held firm. Takeaway: investors leaned into mega-cap growth while bracing for tariff and Fed headlines. Tariffs update: global ripple effects. This week, tariffs were once again front and center, rattling small businesses, consumers, and global trade partners. Organic food shock: Trump's 50% tariff on Brazilian organic sugar plus USDA quotas will drive U.S. organic food prices up an estimated 30%. Smaller food producers warn they may be forced out of business. Small business revolt: over 100 small business owners protested in Washington, saying 50% tariffs on Indian goods and sweeping levies on dozens of countries are crushing margins. The Supreme Court is set to hear the legality of these tariffs in November. North America trade diplomacy: Mexico's President Sheinbaum met with Canada's PM Carney, pushing for more work visas and expanded trade routes as both countries navigate U.S. tariff pressure. China dynamics: Beijing dropped its Google antitrust probe as a goodwill gesture, but doubled down on Nvidia restrictions, banning major Chinese firms from buying U.S. AI chips. At the same time, U.S.-China trade talks continue, with hopes for a TikTok resolution before reciprocal tariffs kick in this fall. Europe and beyond: Swiss watch exports plunged 17% in August after a 39% U.S. tariff, prompting Swatch to raise prices in the U.S. Japan's exports fell for a fourth straight month under heavy auto tariffs. Trump also hinted at new national security tariffs on auto parts. Bottom line: tariff policy is reshaping supply chains worldwide, with food, tech, autos, and luxury goods all caught in the crossfire. Economic data: central banks' move this week delivered a flurry of data and central bank decisions. China: industrial production slowed to 5.2% versus 5.7% expected. Unemployment ticked up to 5.3%. U.S. retail sales rose 0.6% in August, stronger than forecast, while industrial production eked out plus 0.1%. Housing starts fell minus 8.5% to 1.3 million, showing housing weakness. The Fed cut rates 25 basis points to 4.0 to 4.25%, its first cut of the year, but signaled more to come. Canada: CPI flat easing pressure, while the Bank of Canada cut rates to 2.5%. UK and Europe: Eurozone inflation slowed to 2.0%. The Bank of England held at 4.0%, but its vote showed cracks. The ECB confirmed inflation is easing, but remains cautious. Japan: exports fell for a fourth month. CPI due later this week expected at 2.7%. Takeaway: the Fed and BOC cuts mark a pivot toward easing, but the global growth backdrop remains shaky. Volatility: check the VIX climbed to 17.7, up from last week's calm levels near 15. Hedging picked up as tariff headlines and Fed projections unsettled traders. Options desks warn of possible spikes toward 20+ if tariff tensions intensify or data surprises. Bonus section are picks from Monday. QQQ, ETF. QQQ ended flat on the week around 595, holding above cloud support but showing MACD weakness. Dips held, but buyers stayed cautious ahead of Fed guidance. Oracle slid minus 3.6% this week, breaking lower after failing to sustain its earnings pop. It's now testing Ichimoku cloud support near 296. MACD momentum turned negative, making this a wait and see. Tesla led the market, soaring plus 13% on strong momentum and closing the week near 417. The stock is consolidating above cloud support, and MACD remains in positive territory. Bulls are firmly in control here. Final takeaways. Markets. Mega cap tech continues to lead, but industrials and exporters are feeling tariff heat. Tariffs. Trump's sugar shock and broad-based duties are squeezing small businesses and consumers. The Supreme Court case in November could be a turning point. Macro. Fed and BOC cuts confirm a dovish pivot, but housing weakness and sticky inflation complicate the path. Volatility. Rising. RBIX edging toward 18 reflects growing hedging demand. Our picks. QQQ held steady, Oracle struggled, Tesla broke out. Looking ahead, watch for fresh Fed commentary, tariff negotiations with China, and next week's PMI data. We'll be back Monday with a full market preview. Until then, stay informed, stay strategic.
Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe and share this with others. See you next time on Anafram Market Perspectives.